Well, hi, good morning. Thanks for joining me in my shop here. We're in the final stages of this radio, but I still have lots of ideas of things I want to try with it. At this point, my impression with it is it's working fairly well. Nothing seriously wrong with it at this point. It seems like the upper part of the AM band is very weak. It doesn't receive signals well at all. The lower part of the AM band seems fine. Shortwave, I'd have to actually test it right now to find out how it's working. But I imagine it's in good shape too. Maybe the next thing to fiddle around with are these button coils. I think I'm going to take a shot at that today, and we'll see how that goes. So, I mean, the idea of these coils is very simple. It's just push buttons with preset stations. There's nothing too complicated about it. It could be that some of these coils are intended for the lower part of the band and some are intended for the upper part. Their range of these could be different. They're not necessarily all identical. So typically you put, obviously, the lower frequency stations at the lower end of the band and the upper ones at the upper end. And when you push these buttons, the main tuner doesn't change. So some of these radios, pushing these buttons actually causes the tuning capacitor to rotate into position. Especially car radios are like that. Most of these radios are like this one. They have a separate set of coils you're switching in. And the interesting thing about this radio, I've mentioned it a couple of times and I don't understand it fully, but when in AM or shortwave mode, it's using one style of oscillator, maybe a Colpitts, I don't know. And when you're using these coils, it actually uses a different technique in the oscillator. And the name is just gonna slip me right now. I think it's listed in here somewhere, but it doesn't matter. It's just interesting that the radio actually works quite differently when you're using these buttons. So, what's on there right now?
I can tell you this with all certainty. I know the man. I used to do a lot of work for him and his family. And I want to say this about him. Whether people want to believe it or not.
Okay, we don't know who he's talking about. Now that was an AM station from Toronto, 640. It's probably the second strongest station I can receive here at my house. We're hooked up to an outdoor antenna. This leads to an outdoor antenna. If I remove that,
Even try to defend.
there's not much to hear on this radio.
Didn't even want to try.
Back on.
That's the kind of person Marco is. He owned his
So,
mistake, and if he's going to get parole.
now this is the off button, this one. This is the first coil button. So let's push it. We'll see what happens here. Let me turn up the volume.
Nothing I can tell you.
Hold on to your ears. I have no idea.
I believe Shane does.
Well, it seems to be operating. Now to change the tuning of these, it's funny, there's no sensitivity. Okay, so to change the tuning of these, I have to slip a screwdriver and engage a screw that's way up in there. And I think we're going to try that. Goodness knows my screwdriver is long enough. Might just make it there. Some of these, also, I think I mentioned earlier too, there's two slugs inside this tube here. Like a barbell, they're connected together by a rod. So only one adjustment adjusts the slug combination back and forth. In the factory, this coil is positioned very carefully and then glued in place. And if you look very closely, you can see that these coils don't line up 100%. So that's to compensate for variations in the coil winding and things like that you just can't help but have. But that's a factory thing. Once it's set, it's set. So the most I can do is slide the dumbbell up and down. Now, let's do that. Oh boy, this is tricky now. I gotta feel the top of the screw and find the slot. I really don't need these tubes, frankly, because I can see what I'm doing. Let's see if we can back it off here. I pulled that out before. I gotta be careful my finger doesn't go in the radio. I got a lift off this radio the other day, but I don't think I posted the video for it. So I got a B+ shock off this radio up here. See where the green tape is? Make sure I don't repeat it. So not impressed with myself there. I don't really want to touch that chassis while I'm doing this. Come on. There it goes. Okay, now we can see the screw quite clearly. I can get the screwdriver in now. How tough is it to turn this? Not tough at all. Okay, good. Now I can use my proper tools. Maybe this could even go down the tube. You know what? It will. It will. Okay, let's go down the tube here. Okay, take the tube with you. That's perfect. Well, it's tuning. Fantastic. Well, what's it tuning though? So we got to find out where this thing is tuned to. So one of the best ways is to simply, like this is just controlling the local oscillator. So I believe. Let's be a little more than that. Let's be controlling the local oscillator and the front end tuning. Of course, that's what's going on. So if we can see the local oscillator, then we'll know where the radio is tuned by just a simple subtraction of 460. So, okay, give me a minute. I'll get the local oscillator to show up on the SDR. Okay, so you can see the SDR radio display in the top right hand corner. I have it connected to this sniffer coil, little coil here. Just touch it, yeah, definitely working. The thing about using this kind of approach to getting a signal from the radio to the SDR is extremely safe on many levels, and most importantly, it won't disturb, or it will disturb very minimally, the radio's operation as you sniff out some signals. Look at that. I'm already sniffing one out. So that line that's showing up at just under 1 million is pretty certain to be the local oscillator. I'm not sure it could be anything else. You can see it just get a little stronger as I come along. Now, is that just because of the... Not sure. Okay, somebody's phone's ringing in this house. Okay, little distraction there. We're working on spaghetti sauce today, so I had to go do a little spaghetti sauce work. So let's get back to the local oscillator here. I was just discovering it. There it is. So, and let's turn this and make sure that this thing really is what it looks like. Doesn't move much, but it's moving. That could be why why this is so long here, because I know some of these screws are way up in here. They're way out. Okay, so now I can read the local oscillator frequency and figure out what this radio is tuned to. Oh, it's almost on 1 million. How handy is that? So local oscillator on 1 million, subtract 460. I got the IF set to 460. Pretty sure of that now. Subtract 460 from, but this might be, well, let's pretend it's 960. That'd be 500. So I'm tuned to 500. So let's look at it another way. If I want to get this one on to, let's say, 590. There's a good strong station at 590. So what I would need to do then is have 590 and 460. Oh, that's hard math. So that'd be the same as 600 and 450. That's easy math. 1050. I need to get the local oscillator to 1050. That's the plan here. Local oscillator to 1050. If I can get there. You know, that's quite a ways. Yeah, that's right. That's where I want it to go. I was going to say that's quite a ways up the band, but it isn't. It's at the bottom. So 1050. So I'll set the SDR receiver to 1050. So that red line you see will be right on 1050. And I have to get the local oscillator to match up with that red line, and we're there. Oops. Oops, what happened there? Okay, right on the red line. So this radio should be tuned to not 1050, should be tuned to 590. Sounds about right. Let's see what we got. So we want to absolutely prove this. Let me get a digital radio in here. We'll just double check. $10.50. No, 590. This isn't too helpful, is it? First, let me turn this down. It is down. Okay, so this antenna wire coming out of the radio is only active on shortwave and FM. Otherwise, there's a loop in here. This sounds like the sideband is on this. It is on. Huh. Okay, so there's 590 now. They're talking about the Raptors. That's the same guy. Good, so that proves the method. So the next station up would be, let's see, I could do 590, 610, 640, 680, and skip 590, skip 610, do 640 here, 680, and then we'll do a couple of higher band ones. So we'll try 640 on this one. Okay, so just follow the same procedure then. Select it. Fingers, fingers. I think it's in there. Okay, we should be able to see the local oscillator again. And this time we're going to want it at, if we're going to receive, what did I decide to do? 640. So it would be 640 plus 460. Oh, that's kind of, that's 1100, isn't it? It's 1100. So we'll crank this up to 1100. Uh-oh, what happened? Okay, so it looks like we can't get up there from here. So this tube's in there pretty solid. Take a measurement here. That's way in there. Still going. Something's happening. Okay, let's put this one then. We'll instead of 640, we'll do 610. 610. 610 is from CKTP from St. Catharines, which is right near Niagara Falls. In fact, it's quite a ways away. 610. So 610, 640. Add those together. Yeah. To get 610, you add 460 to it. 1070. 1070. So I'll put this at 1000. Wait a minute. Yeah, 1070. That's perfect, of course. 590, 610, 20 kilohertz. All makes sense. It's all adding up. Okay, we head for the red line. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I lost my head. I just totally lost it. Let's try again. 610, 460, 1070. Look where it's going. Come on, Sean, wake up. And the coil. 1070. That's 610. Okay, next coil. 640 on this one. This coil's been roughed. The cardboard's been roughed up here a fair bit. There we go. Got it in there. Oh, it's only in about this far. So now we want to go not 1070, but was it 10, 610, 640, 30, 640, 460, 1100. That's right, 1100. 1100. What's it doing way the heck up there? Well, this is screwed way up. That's a long ways down. Nowhere's near it. Can't get the tube out. What happened to my video? It's my sleeve. Big blank screen there for a moment. It's still a long ways down. It gives you an idea what people were listening to. You know, the buttons at the front of this radio were labeled. I'm going to take a look at those in just a moment here. If I remember, I'll do it when I finish this. Okay, we're getting close to 1100. Let me put the red line right on 1100. We're right about there, I think. Come on. It stopped moving. What happened? Oh, I think I disengaged there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's going up. Guess why? We've hit the bottom range of this. I slid the thing right through. It's coming out the other side now. Got my phone in my pocket. I apologize if that was causing some funny stuff on the video. We can't get there from here. What is this? We can't get there from two of them? No, it's going back up. Okay, so we're going to set this one now to 680 because it can get there. 680, 460, it just gets tougher all the time. So 6 and 4, 1000, 80, 80 and 60 is 140, 1000, 1140 is where we're heading. Head for 1140. What just happened there? Let me put the SDR red line on 1140 so I know where I'm going. it's under there. There's some noise right on top of it in my shop here. At 680 there's noise. I really want to get 640. 640 is the best station, AM station, to have on a radio like this around here. Going back down to this one. Maybe I can go farther with it. I should have written all these down. I have to recalculate it again. So 640, 460, 1100. See, I'm getting faster. Push the button. Bingo. But I picked the wrong one now. That's not the right. That's the 680 line. What am I doing here? Does anybody know what I'm doing? Because I sure don't. I think maybe I got this set to 640 and forgot. Let's do it again here. A bit of heterodyne with it. There's something else about this radio that maybe is still a persistent problem. So I got, what have I got now? I've got 590, 640, 680. Next thing would be, could be 1010. Yeah, why don't we move up the band a little bit? We'll go for 1010 on this one. I think I'm in there. Might be this button here. Local oscillator is... Okay, so to get 1010, we need the local oscillator to be 460 above 1010. So 1450. It's got to go all the way up to 4. Looks like it's down quite a way. Back it out to 14. Hello? Hello, anybody moving? Nobody's moving. Maybe I'm not in the slot here. What's happening? I'm in there now. Off. First coil, second coil, third coil, fourth coil. There's no question I got the right button pushed. Some sensitivity there. Occasionally, you need to tune the radio into the actual tuning of the radio into the range that you're trying to get the button to work on. Take a shot at that. It's been down around 640 all this time. Now I don't hear any change in the radio's operation at all, so if you're looking for an increase in the hiss level. The local oscillator is currently at just above 1100. It's actually way down there. I hear nothing happening from tuning it at all. See, this is the front end tuning anyway, so I really shouldn't have to adjust the radio. Some radios are like that though, be aware. Oop. So what may have happened here is the slug may have come detached from the screw here. There's no doubt I'm turning it. Okay? Yeah, no doubt. I can feel it coming out, but the slug may be down here, not moving. Oh, well, let's just try the next one then and see if we can make that show some sign of life. The next radio I'm doing is the big brother of this one. It's a multi-band shortwave version of this radio. It has a lot more buttons. Okay, there we are. Push the button for it. Now that's way up there. It's 1600. Let's see if we can move it. Hey, what's going on here? Well, let's just check them over. First, there's the first you can hear it. Next one. Can you hear that? Political violence. You hear that a little bit? Those three worked. Well, you know, it's a little suspicious that these two have been fiddled around with, and these two don't work. I wonder if somebody tried to somehow take these off, take this apart, take these coils apart. Well, you know what? There's evidence of that. There is evidence that somebody has messed this up. Let me get my close-up camera going here. Just bear with me a sec. You really have no chance about bearing with me. Okay, so when you look at these, you see a small clip. Clip. No clip. No clip. No clip. What exactly is this clip doing? Well, you know, it could be doing nothing more than putting spring pressure on the, right on the threads here to lock it. So I see something else here. Am I really seeing things? Maybe I'm seeing things. So this one appears to be sunk in just a little bit further than this one. Somebody pull this whole thing out and try to stick it all back in. So any other evidence of monkey business? Why would somebody do that? I mean, if they were fooling around with it, they may have broke the wires off it or something. But the oscillator does oscillate. Hey, let's see if we can move the oscillator by fiddling around with these coils without turning the thing. So right now we're on this one. So we'll take a look at it with the SDR, and then I'll stick some metal near it. A nice piece of metal. This is nice. See if we can make the local oscillator wander around. Oh, I can hear it. Okay. All right. So this may be the oscillator coil here. Don't need the hunk of metal. They're all sensitive. That's kind of surprising, isn't it? Well, maybe as you move along, you switch in more and more of these coils. I can't believe that. Okay, switch to this coil. There's no heterodyne to listen to. See what the local oscillator is. It's the orange line. Well, it certainly is affecting it. This is. The only conclusion we can really come to is that the slug is not moving inside. It's become separated somehow. There's extensive instructions in here. Replacing push button coils. There's all this to read about how to replace this entire unit here. It says that it's been factory set up, you can't do anything yourself, but then there's a little hint. You could potentially loosen up one of these coils yourself and move it around. There's a warning about messing the whole thing up by doing that. So if a customer came into your shop and said, "Hey, button 4 and 5, they aren't working," the repair would be a replacement of this whole thing. The alternative to save some money is you tell the guy, "I can fix the radio in such a way that this button will tune a certain station, but you'll never be able to change it after that. It will always be that station." Okay, I'm not going to sweat over this because what do I care? It's not like I'm going to be pushing the buttons on this radio like crazy. I got to just take the assumption that these two are not going to work. They are whatever they are. But I got these three going. That's pretty good. Now, last thing, why don't we just roll through a little bit of shortwave here and see what we can pick up. Last time I did that, this radio received fantastic shortwave. And I think it was the conditions on the day I did it, because a little later in the day I checked some of my better radios, same antenna, wasn't much there at all. There's normally not much on shortwave at this time of the 11-year sunspot cycle, so not to be too surprised by that. But let's see. Shortwave it is. Here we go. Now I'll let you look at the dial here and we'll whip through it. Because maybe I've messed up the shortwave with all the monkey business on the AM. So at this time of day, we might be picking stuff up. We're kind of in the middle here, maybe even up as high as 15. But we'll start right down here. I'd be stunned if we... Well, let's be stunned. Because I was stunned last time. Something right in here. Nope. Okay, we should start picking stuff up anytime now. Okay, a 31 meter band. Brother Stare. American Religious. I shouldn't call it religious stations. I should call it religious/political. It's unbelievable how mixed up politics and religion is in the United States now. It's the same thing now, pretty well, for some people. In my humble opinion. I think that's Radio China. Well, it's working. I just wanted to make sure it's working. It's not quiet it got up here. Nobody home. Okay. It's okay. I'm never going to use this radio as a major shortwave radio anyway. And since we did it, we better just do the AM band one last time before I really... Probably better to concentrate more on making this a good AM radio than a shortwave. If it had more than one band on shortwave, then I'd be much more interested in getting it really working good. This one, you can't. There isn't even a local oscillator adjustment for the shortwave band. So that tells you something. Good. Now, I think I got this radio really in pretty good shape now. So now it's time to really mess it up. The last thing I'm going to do today, tomorrow we'll do the mess up. Today, let's take a look at these buttons as the last thing. So it has labels on it, but these have been put on with a very old style label maker, the Dynamo label maker. Man, every home had one. So these are all. So CKEY is a Canadian station. That's obviously the broadcast button. This would be the short wave button. Chum. That's interesting. Now, when I was a kid, Chum AM at 1050 was the station to listen to for rock and roll music. Chum, I listened to Chum. If you're Canadian from around here, you know what I just said. But I'm not even sure. What was the frequency for Chum? 1050. 1050 Chum. Hey! CJBC. Spare. And CFRB, that's 1010. CFRB is still around. Amazing thing, I think it's true in the States too. Once a company gets a broadcast license, they tend to stay in business forever. So, those are the knobs. This is how they kind of line up. Well, not in this order necessarily. So it would be easy for me to pick these labels out and put my own labels in. These are not the stations that the radio's tuned to. And blank. Well, isn't that interesting now? Look, there's one that's blank and one that says spare. If I put it like that, assume the word spare was in there. And we got working, 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 not working, not working. How do we get 6 of these? Wait a minute. One of these is the off button. Okay, that makes more sense. Working, 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 not working, not working. So I don't know what's going on with these buttons. Can't figure that out, but then who cares, really? Oh, there's numbers on here. 1, 2, 4, 5. Why would they number these? 5, 6, and 11. See if you can see that number there. Get my camera to focus. In the little circle. In the circle here. There. 11. No idea what those would mean. The other interesting thing is, look, these buttons. There's no slot. There's nothing to mechanically. They don't have a fitting going in the back. They just sit in the cabinet, up against here. Up against where? I'll show it here. They just sit like that. They aren't connected directly. That's kind of surprising. Very cool. So tomorrow, experiments. I got a couple of tube experiments I want to do, and I think we're gonna probably call it quits at that point. But this radio's not going away. It's going to go off to the side, and its big brother's going to come in here, and we're going to start all over again. Hey, sounds like fun. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you on the next video.